Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video, and today I'm going to be talking all about the new Bob Marley UHQR of Exodus. Now, not only am I going to show you the box and talk about this pressing, I'm also going to compare it to my first UK pressing over here. But first things first, whenever Analog Productions releases a UHQR, it is just big news. Especially these 45s, they are really interesting. And in this case, Exodus by Bob Marley is a audiophile production. I mean, the sound quality of this record is just amazing. About a year or two ago, there was this biopic released by Bob Marley, and it shows some time in the studio, and then you hear in a cinema some of the tracks that are on this record coming from those speakers, and the pristine quality of that recording is just astonishing. So to have that on a UHQR is just very exciting. I'll show you the packaging. They changed the overall cover. This is not the typical sleeve you take out and then you have a hard cover. Here you have still a hard cover on the inside with all the stuff inside. No, they took a different approach. It's thinner. It is about a quarter to 1/3 thinner than the other UHQRs. It doesn't have the round beautiful round thing here, which I'm about going to miss, but I do understand it, because taking a look at my vinyl collection, and I got the UHQRs just over there, they take so much space. So to go with a thinner design, it is very well understood. So you open this one in a different manner, then you get the records, 2x silent vinyl, and they have what I believe is to be the original Jamaican label, but that's my guess, because I don't have an original Jamaican one. Also, the record was produced in London, so I think it's more likely that the band members listened to a first UK one than to a Jamaican pressing to give their approval. But I'll go into details about that later on. Here we have a booklet. Some information about the catalog. Yeah, something about the 5,000 limited pressings. Some commercials. For example, this beautiful Mississippi John Hurt pressing. This is really good. I should do a video on that one. I have an original, and I'm getting this one pretty soon. What we also have here is a replica of the cover, done as a gatefold. They did a beautiful job. The sleeve is just as the original, textured, beautiful quality reproduction. Now, going into the sound, and honestly, though I was excited to put this on, I am really happy with this first UK. I bought this after comments online, people saying that the Jamaican is very bass heavy. Go with the first UK. I compared it to a first Dutch one that I have. I compared it to a first US one that a friend of mine owns. And although both sound incredible, because audiophile recording, this first UK is just of an incredible quality. Gorgeous pressing. One of the best that I have in my collection. This is an audiophile recording, and you can hear that everything is in such a perfect balance here. Beautiful full bass guitar. It drives the beat, but it's not taking over the entirety of the mix. The drums are beautifully clear, and when you have this fill, I mean, the drums are beautifully laid back, but when a good fill comes in, and you have that on this album, then it's tick-tack, so much detail in the high, so incredible the way they mix that in. The guitar has a crazy good definition, but never taking over. The mix is in such a perfect balance, the detail, the clarity, brilliant. Main focus on this pressing is the vocals by Bob Marley. They sound beautiful, they sound natural, they sound detailed. Overall, a gorgeous, gorgeous pressing. So is there a need for a UHQR? Well, perhaps this may be a big surprise. The identity of the record really changes with the way this one is mastered. This pressing seems to be so much more relaxed, as if the vibe is even more laid back than on the other one. Well, there is energy on the first UK one, but listening to this one, I noticed that the other one seems to be more pushy. I was even in doubt, is this at the same speed? But I went looking online, it has to be, and I do not have a good ear for speed. I don't have drummer's ears, you know. So I'm not gonna go against that. But it definitely feels like it's more laid back, a relaxed vibe. Also, whereas the UK has a slightly rougher, harsher texture, the texture over here is overall a little bit smoother, less pushy, and it has so much more air. That's the most noticeable thing. So much more air between the instruments, especially this around the vocals, as if there's more reverb or just natural, natural room air from the recording studio. Which makes it very tough to make a good comparison, because I really like the direct, dry detail on the first UK. I love that. This one overall seems to be much more the kind of record you put on if you had friends coming over and you're gonna enjoy reggae with whatever you can do to listen to reggae. I have a softer spot for the way the vocals sound on the first UK. I like the directness. I really like direct, dry. That's my personal preference. But thinking about the vibe, the elements of reggae, the relaxed and chill feel that that Marley and the Wailers have, this seems to be closer to their philosophy than the first UK. So this is a very tough comparison to do. Also, detail-wise, it's obviously astonishing. Detail-wise, it's astonishing. But this is about a philosophy. Do you want a more on-edge Exodus, or do you want to lay back? That's the question. So, you know what? I'm going to leave the answer to you. I'm curious what you think. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my new video. Bye.